that's how you really, really make an impact. And I have a few questions listed for you. Is
Sure.
what part of the disciplined man people see today was actually built during the most undisciplined or difficult chapter of your past?
Yeah, it's funny. Discipline for me is everything. And it took me a long time to learn that. I was always a talented athlete. I always did really well in school, but I never studied. I just happened to be the guy who just like figured it out, you know? So I relied heavily on talent forever. And talent really only gets you so far. Motivation only lasts. Like you can go on YouTube and or you can go on someone's Instagram and watch this motivational video and, oh man, I'm going to change my life tomorrow. And then that fades, you know. Discipline for me was built out of necessity to really survive, I think. If you had met me, God, how old am I? I'm 34 now. If you had met me 10 years ago, you're like, this guy is a hurricane, man. This guy has no plan. He's just running through life trying to figure it out. But I was talented. You know, I sold cars for 9 years after football, made a lot of money, spent more money than I ever made. You know, and discipline was one of those things that I had to learn. I had to understand what it was. And once you figure out what it is, it's compounding interest over small decisions over a long period of time.
Yeah.
People don't really get that. They think, oh, I just, I have a little plan here, but it's okay. I'll cheat on my diet. It's like, okay, well, it's not really discipline. Or it's, oh, okay, I'll do this. I'll have a couple beers. It's not that bad, and then I'll drive home. It's like, no, you sometimes it's just doing things you don't want to do, um, regardless of how you feel. Like there's a lot of days that I don't want to go to work and do a 12-hour shift and deal with the stuff that I deal with. But there's a lot of people that depend on me to show up every day. There's a lot of days I don't want to go to the gym. I don't feel like it, but I go anyway. And it's like I have these non-negotiables in my life. And the second that I really implemented those, my professional career took off. My personal relationships got better. I mean, everything around me changed so drastically. And I do attribute you have to be disciplined to be a good bodybuilder. You can't do it without it. So a lot of my success, I really give to the sport of bodybuilding, or I don't know, it's not really a sport. I guess it's a pageant or a, I don't know, call it what you want, but I give a lot of the credit to that. Um, I think it was taught to me at a young age, but I was that guy who just was like, yeah, Dad, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never been where I've been. You know what I mean? Like you kind of just like I've gotten all the good advice.
Yeah.
I can remember conversations my dad used to have with me where he would tell me exactly what I tell these young kids, and
Yeah.
I'd look at him and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I'm talking to these kids today and I'm giving them the same advice, and they look at me like, what do you know? And I'm just like, God, this is so frustrating.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to really, as I get older and go through more things and help more people, you see it full circle. So, but discipline is everything. It gives you the freedom. A lot of people want freedom in life, and freedom doesn't mean you just get to do whatever you want whenever you want. It means you do what you have to do when you have to do it, and that gives you more time to do the things you want to do. So, yeah, it's a huge part of my life.
That's greatly said. What made you go from like the gym to like bodybuilding? Did you have like a mentor? Did you see someone that was like a bodybuilder and you were like, hey, like what did you do? Like how did that come into
That's a good question. I was a big gym guy when I played football off season, during the season. I got away from it in the car business. Got a little fatter than I want to be, for sure fatter than I want to be, out of shape. I was smoking cigarettes, I went down that path and really got away from the gym. Um, I it's funny, I actually went back to school when I was 27 to get my fire technology degree. I just passed the EMT course. I got accepted to the fire academy, and I went to the gym that evening with a close friend of mine. And I was bench pressing, and I snapped my pec, it tore off the bone and rolled into my chest. So I had to have reconstructive surgery and put me out of. And then I just decided, like, okay, I can't train my upper body, so I'll just do legs 4 days a week. And then I got really into watching. There's a documentary. I don't know if you know who Dorian Yates is. He's a six-time Mr. Olympia, like one of the greatest ever bodybuilders. And I watched that, and I'm like, man, that looks fun. I want to compete. It was like it more came from a competitive aspect too. was really looking for something. I missed that competition and missed having something work towards. And I honestly just hired a coach in Sacramento where I lived at the time. We started the diet. We were going to plan on doing shows, and then obviously COVID hit. That kind of postponed doing a show. I actually did my first show in 2020 post or during COVID, and I dieted for like 36 weeks for that show. It was horrible, but
Wow.
yeah, it was actually I did really well, placed first, and after that, I mean, I was hooked. But yeah, it wasn't a specific like thing. I really wanted to compete again. I had built all this discipline and structure, and I needed a direction to kind of channel it because I was just like, what am I doing all this for? Like a
Right.
robot. So yeah, it really helped kind of guide me to that for sure.
So your first competition, you actually placed first place?
Yeah.
Dude, how did that make you feel? That's so
It was good. It was a little, I mean, I will say it was during COVID. My first show was the Legion Sports Fest in Reno, which is where I live now. It was not a very big show, not a lot of competitors. So I don't want to say like, oh, I came and I conquered and I beat all these really good
yeah.
guys. Like, not a lot of people were competing.
Yeah.
Um, but I got in really good shape and I had muscle. And for my first show, most people at their first show don't really like look like a bodybuilder. And I did that show, placed well, and my coach at the time was like, "Man, you got a real thing here, man. Like you should keep competing." So yeah, I've never placed terribly. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the show I just did, I got my ass kicked by these guys. These guys were really good. So, um, but no, it was fun, man. I just had so much fun. After I did that first show, it was like just the whole process. Like you're only on stage for 5 minutes. It's not like when you play football, you're in front of, and I've played in stadiums in front of 20, 30,000 people. You're out there for 60 minutes, four quarters, you're making
Wow.
plays. Like that's a rush. This is a little different. You work, all year. You diet for 5 months for 3 minutes of being on stage. So it's kind of this roller coaster. So your expectations have to be set properly. But I really fell in love with the process. It was like, hey, this is my meal plan, this is my training regimen, this is my cardio. And it fits so good with like where I was at in life too. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna be a Terminator. I'm gonna do this, and this. Nothing. My house could be on fire. I'm going to the gym. I don't care. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?